Hey, Cardinals fans, welcome to the Redbird Rundown. I am Jonathan, joined by Matt and Andy. And in this episode today, we will review over the games, all of our wins since our last recording, hand out some report card grades, through the first 40 games, and suggest what to watch for in next week's action. But before we get into any of that, it is Mother's Day, and it is a coincidence that all of us share the same mother on this podcast.
What?
Shocking.
Mom pod.
Listeners. Mom. So we thought it would be appropriate to, share a Mother's Day story about our mom that's related to baseball. We all played baseball growing up, so we thought it might be a nice way to tie this in. So I'm going to start with you, Andy. Do you have a good mom story about baseball?
Yeah, I think I've already shared one. So I saw mom today, and I kind of let her know, gave her the heads up, like, hey, by the way, we're going to be doing this. And she was like, what are you guys going to say? And I was like, well, she looked at me and she's like, oh, I know what you're going to say. I was like, tell me what I'm going to say. She's like, just throw strikes, Andy. I was like, that's the low-lying fruit for sure. I think I've told that story before. So I'm going to go whenever I was actually watching Matt. Mom was the one that I remember coming to help me. So at the baseball complex that we played at growing up, obviously there's multiple fields. A field was empty. Matt was playing on the other field. So we just like grabbed a baseball, and some of the guys that were my age, like we just went over there and played pickup baseball. And I was pitching, and we're kind of like doing home run derby. Like I was just kind of soft.
I was going to say baseball, the hardest of all the pickup sports. Like just a lot has to go right. Home run derby,
and I took a shot off my face. And mom was definitely not happy about that. So she just was there. I was like, because it wasn't like you think, golly, like, did you get stitches? Like, it wasn't awful, and I didn't want to be in trouble. So like, it was like one of those things where like I try to make up a story of like what happens because there's like a mark on my face, and like she just kind of saw.
I ran into a baseball size.
I fell down the stairs, I think is what I ended up with, and that. But no, I took a shot
outside at the baseball field. Yeah, that was great.
Shout out Strothman Park.
So this, shout out to mom being the classic mom, like. Yeah. Loving and nurturing, and made you feel better, even though she didn't hardly do anything. It still made you feel better. Mom was there.
Matt, how about you?
I think we should celebrate mom as an athlete herself. So she was she ran some track in her school days, and I remember a classic story of her playing softball with dad in like a rec league and trying to pound out a grounder to first base and stretch it into a Victor Scott single, and just came up lame because her entire hamstring snapped all the way up the back of her leg, and dad had to carry her off the field. But I would say the Sports Center highlight of her career happened at a church Memorial Day softball game.
Oh yeah,
and it was just slow pitch softball, and if, listeners, you know how it goes. It's just people out there playing it. Pick up softball. That's fine.
That is.
So there is this guy that he is just unbelievably talented. He's playing like semi-pro fast pitch softball, just outrageously good. Let me give you his triple slash line real quick. 1,000, right. 1,000, 4,000. So he had a 5,000 OPS, just hit missiles all over the place. Yeah. Mom's playing in the outfield. She has a toy glove on, like a blue plastic toy glove. He hits a just complete Ohtani rocket. And she like holds out her hand, turns her head the other way, and the ball just magically appears in the glove. And that is the only out he's ever made in his life in church league softball. Unreal catch from mom. Just real web gem stuff.
Yeah. Legend, living legend stuff. Everybody still talks about it. Everyone was there, still talks about it.
Yeah. I love the legging out the single though. Grinding. Never takes a play off.
Listen, she was a real threat to take two when she was on there.
That is so funny and absolutely crazy.
So I will say, Jonathan, before you go, mom was the most interested in what you were going to say.
Oh wow.
So
okay, I have one.
This feels right somehow. It's just pressure. Really therapy session on the pod. Yeah,
feels right. Well, here you go, Mom. Here's the best one I can come up with. I remember specifically, obviously, she telling me to throw strikes. That's a classic just to everybody. Yes. You're struggling. It's
every mom everywhere.
The strike zone's all over the place because the ump is like, 17 or he's shooby or whatever, and I'm struggling out there and you just hear, throw strikes, which is obviously super helpful. But what I remember is actually sitting in the dugout, being very young. I forget, probably Andy for your team.
Yeah, mom.
And
she called this, I think.
I would always sit next to her, and she'd do the book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I just loved doing any kind of like
good job, Mom,
in there, whatever it was. Like it didn't matter. Picking the bats up and putting them through the rungs on the thing, or
yep.
But I remember sitting there and watching her do that and just having absolutely no idea what was happening with that book. Because if you look at a baseball scoring book, it really doesn't make sense at all.
She gave me one.
It's like the Russian alphabet.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It took me a second to like see what was happening, and I played in those games.
It still doesn't make sense to this day, but those are my two memories of Mom there. That and sitting on that little Pepsi bucket. Bob, you remember that?
I still have it. No, it lives on.
That's hilarious.
My kids use it. Yep. Yeah. It lives on, baby.
Out in the garage.
So that's what I remember, sitting next to Mom, being very young while she was doing the book. So needless to say, she has been with us through a lot when it comes to baseball and outside of that. So
I did want to just shout that out on Mother's Day. Like as a parent going through some of the same stuff, it's shout out to Mom. The older I get, the more I appreciate what she did for us. So shout out to you, Mom.
Oh, you can have a whole episode on that, right?
It's a lot of butt time in the bleachers. It really is.
Man. And shout out to all the parents, not just our mom, but shout out to parents who do that.
Yes, absolutely. All right, enough about Mom. Jeez. No, I'm kidding. So okay, let's get into another super exciting topic here. Our record last week was all W's except for one, so we were 8-1. 8-1 last week. I literally cannot believe that happened. Just the complete opposite of what we said last week. We need to lose games, get a draft pick, they come out and rip off 8 in a row.
So we're going to keep talking about that.
We're going to keep talking
smack.
Keep dogging on Fetty.
Yeah. That's right. So we know what's coming here. The vibe check. 5 words or less. Matt, can we start with you this time? What is your vibe check?
Winning cures all. I still think we're probably a 500 team, and I'm not even joking trying to reverse jinx us or anything. I still think we are. However, if it's going to go like hot streak, cold streak, hot streak, cold streak, just enjoy these hot streaks. We have looked like world beaters. I realize the Pirates and the Nationals were a big chunk of the world beating that we did last week, but just, have fun. Yeah. The offense is ripping. Guru Brownie's got him hitting. The starters just absolutely cannot give up a run. I don't. It just looks great. It's fun. Baseball's fun. The vibe check is wonderful.
Yes. I also just want to say off yours, we're not playing down to these opponents. I feel like in years past we've been doing that. It's like, can we just beat the Pirates or the Nationals? Yeah. So
true.
I agree with you, Andy. Vibe check.
Waiting for the normalization. Yeah. So
bring us down. Here it is.
No, I agree with Matt. Everything that Matt said. I'm also like, I will enjoy it. It is fun to like watch them rip it, but like I know, like I'm just waiting for the normalization of like, oh, there's the 500 team.
We're not going to run the Dodgers down. We're just not.
Exactly.
No. Watch us do just that. Mine is baseball's funny. It's just funny. This, we just talked about this. And they come off here and they rip off 8 in a row. I know, like we said, against the opponents, but this is exactly what happens. Nobody can predict this. It's why live sports is the way it is. You never know until you know. So that's why they play all the games. So baseball is funny.
Game out of the NL Central lead. Yeah.
I know. Can you believe that? All right. What do you say we rip through each of these games quickly just to get the listener caught up on what happened? And spoiler, in my opinion, the most impressive series victory is the first.
Yes.
Against the Mets.
Yeah.
Right. So we're picking up in the second and third game. That is where Willie, and this is going to be a trend here, has been providing a ton of our offense. He is 100% back. He looks on everything. Very, very sharp. We win 6-5. That was a close one. This is a doubleheader against the Mets. That's not an easy feat here.
No.
Side note, just to interject, the Cubs just played them in a 3-game set and lost the series versus we played them and won the series. So that's keep going. Sorry.
Yes. No, we always love to say when
the Pope is aligned against the Cubs now, so we should catch him pretty quick, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, I agree. Okay. Second part of that doubleheader. All I got to say is Michael McGreevy saves the day, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
He came
5.1.
in looking like Roger Clemens or what other pitcher you want to compare him to. He looked amazing. I loved watching him close that out, and he's like screaming at the end of it. He just looked so pumped out there. And we do have to call out Vic's home run robbery. That was
nice.
It's like just watching him time all of that, runs to the wall, waits, jumps, catches it. It's so impressive. And just another notch in his belt here.
I heard him talking on the Woo podcast about like he knew he just had to run back there to get to a spot so he could get ready to jump. And I was like, Vic, buddy, you probably could have set up a lawn chair, mixed you some lemonade. Like he gets to those spots real fast.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So we win that series 2-1. The Pirates come to town. Michaelis, again, I guess he just has good outings. I don't know what else to tell you. He pitches a solid one. Our offense scores enough. We win 6-3. Then second most impressive thing off this streak, Libby outduels our guy Paul Skennies.
Inning for inning.
Yes.
It is Paul Skinny against us. That's right.
Man, I can't believe him. He struck out 8, right? Outdueled him. I mean, our offense, obviously, that's a tough ask to say to come out and score that, but Burley bailed us out. Hit.
Yes.
And what's funny, too, is he was so behind that pitch. Like, he was so – I mean, he just happened to slap it the other way, but it's not like he beat him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just one of those happenstance things.
Yeah. Baseball.
That's exactly right. I do have to call out one thing that happened in this game that drove me crazy was Vic's stolen base streak ended here. And the entire time it was happening, I don't know why we kept doing it.
Because we sent him 270 times in a row.
Yes, Newt's up. You know, it's like if you're going to send him at the very beginning of Newt's at bat because he's going to grind these at bats.
Correct.
Right.
I mean, I think Newt's trying to hit the ball too. It's like it was like 4 foul balls in a row, and it's got to be.
You wonder if you wonder if the hit and run was on so many times or something.
That's also I didn't think about that, but they sent him like 5 or 6 times, Matt, to your point, and then he's out, but it's by a little bit. But you could just tell Vic was like dead.
He's gassed. Yeah.
All right, last game of the series, going for the sweep. Sonny gives us 7 strong. Really, really classic Sonny Gray game. Since coming to the Cardinals, this is like his peak right here. He's looked really, really good. And this outing, 7 strong, 5-0. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We keep rolling here. Go off to DC and to the Nationals. And who would have guessed Eric Fetty with a complete game shutout, the first since 2022. I'm at a loss for words, fellas, on Fetty pulling that off.
Yeah, I just think the Nats didn't want to look at that mustache anymore. Got out of there.
It was just really sad. That's what I said. You know, this is a career performance from Fetty, one of them, you know, not the defining maybe of his career. But it was like, what's sad is that such a pitching gem got wasted on a 10-run game. You know, it could have been the time the offense scored like 2 and we won 2-0. It was a 10-run outing. I'm not complaining about watching 10 runs being scored. I'm
sounding like it.
So shout out to Fetty. That was pretty amazing. I do have to say too, that was an Apple TV game, and I always got to shout out Apple TV. Their stuff is so crisp. I just love it. And this is a funny little part of this game here. At the end, the sideline reporters interviewing Fetty because he did this incredible feat. Well, they're going to dump the water on him, and Willie, it's Gatorade, just doesn't even get any on Fetty and just gets it all over this poor reporter. Good. She's just soaked from head to toe, and I'm like, Willie, buddy, you got to get that better. Maybe it was purposeful. Game 2, Palante answers the call. 7 1/3. He gives up 2 runs. I thought that
home
run, you're right. You called that out.
97, don't hard.
I thought that home run he gave up to Dylan Cruz I didn't even think it was a bad pitch, honestly. I mean, it was sort of elevated, and when he elevates stuff, it gets scary, right? If he stays low, he typically gets ground balls, but I honestly didn't think it was that bad, and he just made him pay. But we win 4-2. That's 7 in a row. And then today, we just watched it. Michaelis again. Ollie with the timely pull, bringing in Mats. And the offense just keeps churning against Mackenzie Gore, who is leading the league in strikeouts, I might add. We win 6-1 and 8 in a row. And, fellas, we are 1 game back from the Flubbies.
Extremely impressive streak. Loving it. Extremely, extremely impressive.
I couldn't believe it. Andy, any thoughts on the streak here real quick?
Well, just one before we get into the report cards. I had to remove myself. It's kind of like as a teacher when you give end of the year award like nominations to your students, and you have to like pull yourself back of like not just remember the fourth quarter and like
right, the whole
I have to do the whole thing. And so when all 3 of us, I have no idea what these guys' grades are. At least me personally, I'm going to give some grades out here that like, if I'm just talking about these last few games, it doesn't make, and want to point out that, the winning, like Matt said, makes it all go down easier. And so, some things that the Cardinals are still lacking, even though right now it seems like we can't lose.
We've had an odd first 40 games. Like I know the record wasn't incredible, but we came out of the gates just like hanging 10 runs on people, looking crisp. and then had a real bad stretch there in the middle of this 40 games. And then this last 10 to 15 games, it's odd.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is just what we are, and it's a roller coaster up and down. But it's been almost 3 separate seasons inside of this 40 games. It's been really weird to watch.
I agree. Well, without further ado, let's just get into the report cards.
Sure.
So it's 40-ish games, right? We thought we would give grades for each of these categories: the offense, defense, our starters, our bullpen, our coaching staff, and then also, if we get a chance to, we will talk about our farm system a bit and give that a grade for the first 40-ish games. So what I thought we would do, Matt, let's start with you this time. Okay. Give us your grade and give us your supporting evidence as to why you gave that grade.
I gave the offense.
Yeah.
I gave the offense a B plus. And here's the thing. I'm a teacher. Andy is too. This is such a philosophical thing about teaching, because do you grade what is right in front of you, or are you grading based on your expectations of what you have seen before? So if I was going to do that, I would honestly give the offense an A or an A plus, but I chose to just grade it a little bit harder and grade what's in front of me. So I just kind of perused the categories. And again, we started out strong. We were bad offense for about 10 to 15 games there. And we've been really good here again, the last 10 to 15. So that puts us in like 8 to 10 in most rankings.
Yeah.
We are the one thing we are missing, and probably what's going to keep it from an A for me, is we just don't have home run power. Although, like I mentioned already on this podcast, I cannot remember the last time I've seen the Cardinals score so many double-digit run games in one season, let alone the first 40 games of the season. So I think all told, it's a strong unit. It's been really good, but there are that weakness of we're like 18th in home runs, even as we're like 8th to 10th in most other offensive categories. So I just knocked us down to a B plus basically because of that.
Okay, B plus. A little extra credit. We're right in the A range, So we're feeling pretty
extra
good.
Credit comes over the wall, boys.
There you go.
Yeah, there
Andy,
you go.
what do you think about the offense?
Hilariously enough, I also have them at a B plus.
Boom.
I have the team batting average for April when we were 10 and 14. We were batting 261, which ranked second in an MLB. Overall, I highlighted our 8-9-1 slots. I've said it a couple times to the text and inside our thread.
Yeah.
That is the most dangerous part of the lineup. It doesn't seem to matter who we plug in there. Vic can be down there. Mason was down there probably rightfully for a while, but then he turns into my second shout out is Mason Wynn. Mason Wynn slashes here, boys, for April was 322, 397 on base. He's almost on base 40% of the time. 922 OPS, followed up with Lars at 238, another 350 on base, 740, and then Vic, again, I'm highlighting the 8-9-1 slot. Vic 259, 333, 704. That's a dangerous combination down at the end of a lineup to start over into Newt. Cons, the reason why I personally, those are good reasons that Matt gave, the lack of power. I thought about that one. My cons, my unfortunate cons, are two fellas by the name of Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman. Yeah. They are in the bottom 10% of all baseball and weighted on base average, which is just simply contact and getting on base. They're in the bottom 10%, gentlemen. We can't do that. Also, they're in the lowest in the MLB and chase percent contact. Not did they chase a ball, but did they, if they swung at crap, did they hit the crap? No, they're not. They are
can confirm they did not hit it.
No. Yeah, they're currently whiffing and they're not making contact like over half the time on those things that they're missing. So it's one thing to be like, snap, I'm swinging at a slider, and you do like you have those weird swings where they go down on one leg.
That's Jordan Walker. That is Jordan Walker to a T.
It is,
and they just are missing. They're not being disciplined, and then they're missing, and that's why currently. And I understand why we're doing it.
Yeah.
But that currently is why this offense is a B plus because of those aforementioned gentlemen.
Okay. Quick side note. So you guys both had B plus. I figured we would probably stop here for a second and talk about Walker and Gorman, because that's going to be a theme in my grade here. But before I give you my grade, do we think it's a consensus between us three that Gorman, albeit his average is terrible, has looked better than Walker all year? Do you feel like that's fair?
No.
You don't think so? Okay. Tell me
no,
why.
Because I just feel like Gorman is consistently doing exactly the same thing. This has been his problem the whole time. We have seen this from him specifically for hundreds of at-bats now. And that worries me a lot more than Walker. Really looks like to me, and maybe this is just wishful thinking, that Walker has 8 things he's trying to think about at the same time while he's swinging. And I'm still more hopeful about Walker. I'm really starting to lose quite a bit of hope for Gorman.
I have more hope for Walker because he's younger. But the only reason I asked that is Walker is falling into the exact pitfalls that killed him last year, where Gorman is just not making as much contact, but he's walking a lot more, which is something that he's never done. So it feels like
I just don't know if Gorman has the bat to ball contact skill to be a pro. I don't know.
I agree. That's his whole thing. The only thing with Walker is that the guy just chases everything. It's nice to see Gorman walking more, but he just can't hit anything.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but Walker's got a hit tool that Gorman has never seen. Gorman's we've never seen that out of him, even in the minors. And Walker showed that in the minors. So that's why I'm hopeful if Walker can become a little more selective. I think the skill is there.
I agree. He definitely, if you're going to put your money on somebody, I'd put my money on Walker than Gorman.
Yeah.
But, so, my offensive grade's an A-. I'm going to say an A-, which the difference between B+ and A- is probably 2 points.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to say an A- because we are a top 10 offense in baseball, and we have 2 of our regular players who are absolute donuts right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing. Nobody. Years past, obviously, we've talked about this extensively. It's been rough to watch. So I push this up to the A territory just because this is such a breath of fresh air. And those 2 guys, again, they've been horrible so far, Gorman and Walker, and we've still been extremely
good. And we talked about we don't want them to. No one's rooting against them.
No.
And it's just sad that, you read about the things that Ollie is seeing out of Walker. He's giving them off days, and he gives them things to work on, and he's working on them. And it's just like, okay, at some point we got to pay the piper. And so again, I hope it's in this. I don't know. I don't know if you're in the coaching
I'd
staff.
keep going with both of them, but
me too.
Gorman's runway is smaller than Walker's to me.
I think that's a good point. If Walker was struggling on defense too, I think you'd see that differently.
Yeah. He's
defense,
not. He's been good.
No, he's been. That's what I'm saying. Let's get to this transition of defense. Andy,
can I highlight one more guy real quick?
Sure.
In the offense, I'm going to give Nolan Arenado a C for his offense. 269, 351, 403, 111 wins run created plus. Here's my issue though. That's all fine. He's our 4 hitter. And at some point, that is also why I gave this offense a B+. And he is in a power spot, and he is not providing the type of power that we need out of that spot. And I know, and it's funny to me, nobody's brought this up, and I don't see fans talking about it online. When can we get him out of the 4 hole? I'm not sure if you can, because there's this roster politics and there's this Hall of Fame politics, and we just have to write his name in there all the time. I don't think he's necessarily best slotted in as a 4 hitter. If he's your 6th or 7th hitter right now, then we're an A+ offense. But we got to keep running him out there and doing that. He's not holding his weight in the 4 hole right now.
I don't think he's been holding his weight in the 4 hole for about 18 months.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's not like
but
this is new.
Nobody questions it. Nobody says anything about it.
Yeah.
It's just what we do. And I dinged us for it. I don't think it's good.
As long as he doesn't, they don't put him down in the 8, 9, or 1 hole, which is our best offense right now.
It is.
Oh, shoot. Anybody else have any caveats for offense? Any other last ones?
No, I'm good.
Nope.
Okay. All right, Andy, kick us off for defense. What's your grade and why?
A+. And here's why. We have, if you go through the Cardinals roster, who has played an acceptable amount of qualified appearances out in the field, if you will, every single Cardinal at every single position marks above average and outs above average. They're adding. Yeah. So this is to the
listeners.
listener.
Andy came locked today, boy. He's ready.
I did come locked. I did some homework. Okay. So just to remember what an out above average is for the listener, for people like me who's casual and may have forgotten. This is a range-based metric, defensive metric of skill that shows how many outs a player has saved over his MLB peers. So if you stick Victor Scott II out in center field versus another center fielder, this is how many more outs that Victor Scott II has created just because of who he is, which, by the way, Victor Scott II has the fastest recorded speed on the bases this year at 30 feet per second, which translates to just shy of 21 miles per hour on the base pass, and 90 feet is
Vic
pretty
is
quick.
hoofing. Yeah,
he's going. So Vic has added an OAA. He has added 6 outs above his MLB center field peers, which is amazing.
Amazing.
Okay. His estimated success rate should be about 88% of the balls that have been hit to him. He's fielding at 96%, which is absolutely bonkers. And then you're like, wow, that's crazy. That's it. But that's your center fielder. Except you just go down the lineup and shout out to Nolan Arenado and Mason Wynn with 5 and 4 OAAs.
Yes.
That's, you got a center fielder, a shortstop, and a third baseman. You've got it locked in on who you need to be at the highest point of your defense. And again, the other players are not slouches. It's not like we have somebody who's like at a 0. There are 0 Cardinals who are not adding to their success rate on the defensive side.
Incredible stats. Matt, anything else to follow?
That's a great case. I also gave us an A+. We are double the OAA of the next team. I'm just going to shout 3 people out real quick. First of all, that left side of the infield is just dirty over there. They pick it, they throw it. It is, and that is going to leak into my starting pitcher grade. I think that's why this matters so much. Defense is so important because it affects the pitchers, and all of our guys, besides Libby, are pitch to contact pitchers, and they all look better because of this defense. Shouts to Vic, who has made Michael Ciani absolutely obsolete in center field. We're never going to see him again.
Who's that?
Vic,
Michael who?
Yeah, exactly. He's a wonderful looking man, but Vic hits and he fields. Shouts to John Jay for getting Vic going on that. Shouts to John Jay for turning Jordan Walker into a good, guys, he's not just a right fielder. He's a good right fielder. Yeah. The tank is just on the treads out there, running balls down. He's got a missile of an arm. Like, we look so good. And then just final shout out real quick. Shouts to Willie at first base, who looks good. He looks competent. I don't know who's in charge of the infield defense, but that has been a success too. So just across the board, this is the single best thing that this team does, period.
Yes.
Amen. I got nothing else to add other than my grade, which is an S. Better than A.
Okay.
I'm giving it an S, baby.
We went to PE class real quick.
Factory. That's right.
I'm gonna start calling.
I think
Victor
that's at least an S plus, though. Come on.
Oh, it's. Yeah. I guess I was thinking of like tiers. You know, you see those tiers online. Like
okay.
S,
all right.
A.
All right. Yeah. All right. Fair.
I had a typo I just noticed in my notes, but I like it. I'm gonna just start calling Vic instead of Victor, Victory Scott the second. All right. Yeah. I like Victory.
Yeah. 30 feet per second. That's like a fourth of a Cheeto right there.
I mean, honestly,
Cheetah ain't got swag like Victor, boy.
That's true.
Yeah, I even looked. I was like, that's crazy. That's over. Yeah, anybody in the red. I went through all 30 teams, and ain't nobody's posted. Not 1%. Like, I was like, oh, is it 1%? No, he is literally number 1.
This is our clear advantage. I mean, this is just the best thing of our team right now is our defense. It's hands down.
Yep.
All right, starters. Andy, what's your grade and why?
Oh boy. Okay. So, look, again, it's hard to think, okay, they're 22 and 19 right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Playing above 500 ball, which we all will eat our words, and I'll dog the Cardinals every week and call them out. And if they keep, going 8-1 in a week, but at some point, if we give the offense a B+ and A- for you, and an A+ is your S tier, something is happening wrong, right?
Sure. Let's hear it.
The starters have a C-. Okay?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, here's why. Here's why I came to C-. Quality starts. So what is the purpose of a pitcher? Is to give your team to be in striking distance of the other team, right? As in, you're not wanting to be hit. You're not trying to give up runs. You're not. The walks is killing us. Okay, that's what a pitcher's job is, right? So there is, and for the listener out there, if you don't know what a quality start metric is, it is if when a starting pitcher has pitched 6 innings and given up 3 or less earned runs. Okay, so that is their definition of a quality start. You have given your team enough innings and provided a close enough game that the offense should be within striking distance.
That's crazy because that's like a 4.5 ERA.
I know, isn't that nuts?
Good? But yeah.
So, gentlemen, in the month of April, we had 38 attempts by our starters to give a quality start. Would you give me a number real quick of what you think out of those 38 our starters gave? How many quality starts? How many 6 innings pitched with 3 earned runs or less did we give out of 38?
7.
Dang.
Wow, that's crazy. It's higher than that.
Okay.
It was 18, which is where I landed at a C-. A C to me would be
I just thought the innings would be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So 19 out of 38 would have been exactly half, which is in my mind halfway through the grading scale is a C. Yeah. So that's what I used to use. So who I want to highlight real quick. That the quality starts the metric that I use to give ourselves a C-. I want to highlight two people, even though they did excellent the last times they're out. Miles Michaelis and Andre Palante, bring the score down. They have the highest ERA on the rotation. They have their walks and hits per innings pitched is the worst, and they have the lowest K rate on our rotation.
Yep.
The highest that I gave was Sonny Gray and Matthew Liberatore. Okay. They have the lowest ERA, the lowest walks and hits per innings pitched, and the highest K rate on our staff. There you go. That's who I want to shout out.
Okay.
That's who brought us down.
Okay.
Jonathan, you go this time.
Yeah. I was going to say, I like your case there about quality starts. I made a similar case, Matt. It sounds like you're going to be a little higher on this, so I want to save yours for last year because I want you to prove to us why they're a little bit better, maybe.
Oh, no pressure,
okay?
Sure.
Yeah, no pressure. I gave us a C+. Here's why. Okay. We are 29 of 30 in the major leagues in strikeouts in our rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is a known problem. We've seen it coming. We also have we can get BABIP'd to death. That is batting average on balls in play. And the only reason I'm going to give us a C+ here, because largely they've been okay, right? Okay. Well, a C is an okay grade. And that's kind of what I thought was when you have pitch to contact guys, our defense is awesome. We just highlighted that, but there's luck involved and luck changes quickly, right? Those balls find holes sometimes and there's nothing you can do about it. Where when you miss bats, there's no luck. We've said that many times before. So I'm going to go with a C+ just because of the strikeout punch is lacking. And these balls are going to find holes. So, Matt, maybe bring us up a little higher. Let's hear it. Let's hear the case.
Yeah, I gave us a B. Matthew Liberatore is flat out an A. In fact, he is, as a lefty, he is striking out guys for the last 50 years for the Cardinals. The only two guys to strike out in his range from the left-hand side are Steve Carlton and Rick Ankiel. So not just is he getting it done, but he's throwing 6-7 innings repeatedly. And this is, I don't know, the Libby's like ace material, but it's kind of like it's getting towards kind of ace territory about what he is doing. Now, the rest of the guys, I would say I'm not even going to talk about stats. I'm just going to talk about how I feel as a fan. Most of the time when Sonny's pitching, I'm like, okay, we got a great chance today. Palante, I've got to kind of not like watching Palante pitch because he is throwing like 900 pitches an inning and there's always three guys on base and it's kind of tough. Yeah. I don't know what to do with Michaelis. Michaelis keeps pitching pretty well and I don't understand. And Fetty has had a couple of the worst starts like that I have ever seen and just got bombed. And then he goes 9 shutout innings. Yeah. So I think on the whole, what could have happened to this team is this team could have completely fallen apart. These guys could have been going 2 innings, 3 innings, and we've had a few of those. Yeah. But we've more had starts in the 5-inning kind of range, sometimes 6, sometimes 7, and obviously the complete game recently. I think this group of guys has been pretty solid. They have not won us many games, but they also have not lost us a ton of games. So to me, that's a B range, I think.
I don't hate that. I mean, like I said, we were all pretty close in the same grade there, so I don't hate the B. Okay.
I would just counter with this is that if you transplant the Cardinal starters into a non-A+ S tier defense, what would that team's record be? And maybe would be more in line with a C.
I know St. Louis is going to shout me down, but like maybe Mo putting a good defense behind these pitchers is, I don't know. It makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you have to. If you don't, to Andy's point, we are not, ripping 8 in a row.
You can't run the Phillies defense out there. You know what I mean? You can't have Schwarber tracking balls down the left field. That's going to be a disaster.
The statue, baby.
The funny thing is, we're 22 and 19, and we just went like pretty much B+ offense, A+ defense in the B range for starters. And yet the whole time in this podcast, I'm like, we're probably going to win 81 games. So it's really interesting that we have all these above that. No, I know this one's going to be terrible, but we have really strong pieces to this team. It's just super interesting.
Yes, I agree with you.
It is.
I saw that and reflected that a lot when I was making these. I was like, okay, these metrics don't lie. These numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
It's not just a fan bias of like, oh, yay, Cardinals. Like the numbers are there. There's things exciting. So what is happening? Who is causing the damage?
Yeah.
And here it comes.
Here we go. We're here.
Drum roll, bullpen. Yeah. Okay. I am going to go with a solid C, and that's being nice. Okay.
It is. It
I'm
is
being
nice.
It is. Because they were okay at the beginning of the year. They have been much better as of late. There was just a stretch of about 10 to 12 games in the beginning or in the middle where they were really bad, right? JoJo fell off a cliff. Fernandez fell off a cliff. Helsley still looks very.
I think Fernandez is out of orbit. He's on a different planet somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at.
It's bad.
Just a quick couple stats. We are middle of the pack in basically every stat, and K's and ERA is pretty low, right? Overall, like strikeouts and ERA. And then we have a low, again, just like with our starters, a low BABIP, batting average and balls in play, meaning things can change quickly. There's not a lot of strikeout punch out there, and that is very stressful in the bullpen. So I'm going to say as a collective 40 grade or 40 game grade is a C with a chance to go higher. Because I think what the changes they've made recently give me hope. Grisefo's look good. Matt's has looked very
Winning
good.
cures everything, doesn't it?
Well, of course.
Cures everything. Yeah.
So I'm going to say a C. Andy, what do you think?
I gave us a D- in the bullpen. I believe that this is the Achilles heel to this team thus far of the season. Now, we could do this after 80 games and the offense could look abysmal. But like based on what we're seeing out of the 42 games that we've seen so far, there's everyone but Kyle Leahy. Kyle Leahy, you can walk out of this conversation right now. You can leave.
You get an A+. Yes,
you are the best pitcher in that pin. Okay, just real quick of why you can leave. He is a top 3 in baseball, all baseball, and weighted on base average. And so as a pitcher, what that means is that you want that to be as low as possible. Because if you think about it, sometimes it's hard to quantify what it makes a good bullpen. And you just got to take it down to the basic thing, listener, here is this. The point of a bullpen, the pitcher, is to not let someone score on you, right? Yep. That's the point. So all the metrics, all the fancy thing, ERA and
deep baseball philosophy right here, buddy.
That's it. So just keep that in mind. That's it. You don't want to get hit. As in,
Kyle Leahy is doing that.
He's doing that. He's got the lowest. He's top 3% in all baseball.
Yeah.
He has 9 holds, a 1.21 ERA. He has a mediocre 7.7 K per 9. So that's nothing like, wow, there's people that, but he has a 1 WAR. And there's, the one that I love the most is the walks and hits per in innings pitched. He is at 0.63 right now, which means, listener, that every inning that he's out there, every 3 outs that he's out there, he's giving up less than 1 of those every time he pitches an inning. That's what you want from a bullpen. That's it. Everybody else, and Steven Matz, another shout out. Steven, you can either be the 6th man or some out of bullpen, whatever you want to be. You can see everyone else needs a fire lit under them. And hopefully that's what has happened. Like you said, winning, it cures everything. But golly, is the bullpen awful. We have some of the worst in terms of the rest of the bullpen and that weighted on base average. We have guys throwing 481. And like almost half the time that the offense of the other team is hitting something off of them or getting something off them. We got people like even Roycroft is at 357. Like these are numbers you do not want to see out of your bullpen. So that is what I think that stretch where we were 10-14 in April. I think that lots of those games can be pointed at the bullpen. The bullpen is what was making the Cardinals so bad when you compare it to the other grades we've given.
Well, Matt, before you go, I'll say, unlike the bullpen, Bobby's tack sharp today. And he's locked and loaded. This thing is ready. He's ready.
That right there, what that was on the bullpen was like what Brazil allows to happen to the Amazon. Like they just chop up just acres of it and burn it down and get it ready for something else because Andy just burned down our bullpen. So I'm only going to say one thing about it. I agree with everything he said. I'll say this. Ryan Helsley is 1 step down. And I don't think he's hurt. I just wonder if Ryan Helsley is 1 step down. And I love watching him pitch, except when he has like a 34 pitch inning. And that happens a lot to him lately. And I think we missed our best window to trade him. And that is more bad asset management from the St. Louis Cardinals. I hope that he succeeds. I hope that he saves all the games. But he's not at peak anymore, at least so far in this season.
No, he's not. No, he is not. All right, Matt. How
I gave us a D.
I was going to say, gave us a D?
Yeah.
Okay,
D.
C, D, D minus.
Yeah.
Why don't you kick us off for coaching, our last main category?
Coaching is a B minus. I think there are good lineup choices. I was shocked at some of the things they did at the beginning of the year. I think that Ali only has so much to do when Andy has just slashed and burned the Amazon out of his bullpen. Like you have to pitch those guys, right? That is what you have.
Yeah,
and that's
true.
just part of what is going on. To me, though, the reason why they've got a B minus here, and I don't even hate anything Ollie's done. I like the lineups. I even liked when we were running Luke and Baker out there third against lefties. Like he had a track record of that. I appreciated all of that. Here's the thing, and we've already talked about it. It comes down to Walker and Gorman for me. And this staff, the only thing they've got to do this year, as much as I love Guru Brownie, Guru, let's lock in and listen to me right now. Nolan Gorman and Jordan Walker. I want you dreaming about them at night. I want you like having voodoo dolls of them while you're eating your breakfast. I need you to eat, sleep, and breathe Nolan Gorman and Jordan Walker. Those guys are not developing. You are not getting above a B minus from me, because that's the whole crux of this whole season is those two guys.
I feel you. Andy, coaching.
This is a hard one, because coaches are in a hard spot sometimes of like, what are they responsible for? Are they because they are not the ones out on the mound throwing the pitch, right? Yeah. They're not.
Sure.
So there is responsibility to the players, which is why like sometimes you see in professional sports when someone gets fired, a coach gets fired, and there's players who are upset because they're like, no, it was on us. Like we're the ones like fire us kind of. So it's tough for me to really say, oh, well, that's Ollie, that's Ollie's fault. It could be systemic issues. Like Matt said, like, should we have traded Ryan Helsley? That's not Ollie's call. He's out in the pen. Ollie's got a closer, and Ryan Helsley, he's going to ring hell's bells whenever he brings him in. He's got to, like, that's the pitcher they're working with, but he makes curious things. In the end, I gave him a C+. And here's why, because he has been giving curious statements. The most curious one I find is Jonathan, the one that you shared about the one where he's like, well, these are the guys that I've got. There's nobody else behind them. I'm sorry. Yes, there is. So I don't know who told you to say that. I don't know if you're under pressure from someone up top, but that is a falsehood.
There's a little Mo frustration, I think.
Yeah, I think that was speak to the front office. I think you're right, Matt.
So let's just give a stat of like Ollie's tenure. Okay. Let's just say that is what we do. Like that's, it's not super fair all the time, but let's just say, okay, if you're a good manager, like Pop was for the Spurs, look at what Pop was doing with the Spurs all the time. He just winning teams, right? If that's what a good manager is. So since his his debut season with 93 wins in 2022, the Cardinals are 173 and 189. Okay.
Yep.
Until this streak of the 8 wins in a row, we were, I would say, under our run differential, we were not in a good spot for Ollie. Like he was in the hot seat, as in we were underperforming with the offense that we had. And perhaps, like Matt said, the winning has just healed it all. It's not made all of it go away, but look at the tenure that he has had and some of the things he said. Maybe he's frustrated. Maybe his hands are tied. Maybe it's unfair to all of that. But I think this 8-game streak has made it to where my C+ looks a little bit more foolish, but I still am going to stick with the C+.
Okay. I'm a zag on this, fellas. I'm going to give us an A.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you why. 2 things. Brant Brown and elite defense. That's it. Our defense is unreal. It's the best in the league. And Brownie has come in here and changed this whole philosophy. I agree with everything you guys have said. I really do. I got nothing else to say on that. I just was looking at the major league product. What's it look like right now? I think they've done a pretty good job with what they've been given. And I don't even know that I hate, or I would hate it if they extended Ollie. I don't know what they're going to do, but I was really apprehensive towards that maybe a couple years ago.
I like
super
Ollie
impressed.
Fine. Yeah.
I think he's been fine. Really given everything.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy. He's only 38. Did you know this?
Yeah, he's a little bit younger than me.
So young. That is
just nuts. So young. I agree.
Maybe we ought to let him develop. Maybe he'll start to.
I also think me laying Gorman and Walker's development at the feet of Ollie and his staff is a little bit unfair, because it's supposed to happen in the minor leagues. But look, you're paid millions of dollars. I don't know what to do. At some point, the responsibility's got to be laid somewhere, and some of it goes on the players, obviously. But the staff, I don't know what else to do. The staff's got to help.
Yeah. Okay.
But to your point, for what Ollie has been given, I have no big issues with Ollie. I like him worlds better than Matheny, and I think he has been just as fine and is not as annoying to the press as Schilt. So Ollie's good to me.
Okay. All right. I agree. Okay. I think that wraps up coaching. You guys care if I blow through some farm system stuff for you?
Love this the most, actually.
All right, good. Okay, so I'm going to give just overall the farm system grade is going to be a B minus. There's no real reason for the minus. I just thought it would be nice to just spice it up a little bit. So I'm going to go through our top 5 prospects and then a couple of honorable mentions here. You guys stop me with any thoughts throughout here. But our number one prospect is JJ Weatherholt. He's in Double A.
He didn't start the year there, right? Like he moved up already? Was he in single A?
He is still no. He started in Double A right out of spring training.
Okay.
And has been really honestly pretty successful the entire time. He has dipped lately a little bit, but he's slashing 292, 390, and 400. He's been really honestly pretty good. I think if he continues at this pace, I don't see why he's not in AAA. It's not like he needs to prove anything or bat over 300 in AA, for an extended period. I think you just keep shooting him up the chain. Number 2, Quinn Matthews, not really worth getting into. He's been hurt for the last month or so. He was not very good at the beginning of the year. They have tagged that to his injury. It's a shoulder injury, so it's not even worth getting into his stats.
But I think the shoulder injury is not nearly as serious. It was like a mechanical thing that was making him sore, not some kind of ligament blowing up. So
which is the best case scenario.
Death nails. Yeah.
Now, Tink Hintz, who's number 3, he's on the IL. He hasn't pitched one inning this year. I am very afraid for Tink. He's still pretty young, but he has had injury after injury, and I'm scared for him. Matt's shaking his head pretty hard here.
I hope not, but I think Tink is cooked. I really do.
Yep, I'm afraid you may be correct. Let's hope not, though. Jimmy Crooks, number 4. He is a catcher. He is in AAA right now. He was slashing 228, 291, and 386. The on base is not very good, but he's shown a little bit of power, which I'm surprised about. I didn't know that it was going to translate. He hit pretty well in single A and double A, but hitting home runs in AAA somehow is harder than the other two. I guess it's just the pitching is a little bit better. But I don't know. We'll see. He's going to be here all year, I think. I think they'll probably, the major league team will keep Pozo, Herrera, and probably Pajes, but he's still looking pretty good. The average is down. It's the on base that scares me a little bit with him. The Italian, number 5, our friend Thomas Ajacci, who I think, other than Quinn Matthews, is the surest thing on this list. He's been up in the league. I think if Arenado was not here right now, Ajacci would be playing every single day. Yeah. He's proven that he can play every single day.
Yep.
He was, like I said, he played for us. He's slashing 288, 348, and 450 in AAA. He belongs in the major leagues. We're just putting him on ice down there for a while.
Yep.
Until he's ready here. I want to get into the right. I want to get into the honorable mention because there's some really interesting stuff here. When I was digging into this, is through each of the leagues. A name we haven't heard that much about since we traded for him was Takoa Roby. I feel like he's kind of fallen off the radar. He's been extremely good in AAA this year. 20 innings pitched, 2.66 ERA. 19 strikeouts to 8 walks. That's obviously a double that ratio out there. He's been great. If he can stay healthy, he will be a major league pitcher.
He's got the scary shoulder version, though. That's the whole thing with him. I don't know if he's bullpen this year. Or I think he's rotation in the future. He is a real talent. You're right.
Well, and just for all the fans out there, he's on the 40-man roster.
Yeah.
So they are going to use him at some point.
Right. We could see him soon.
Yes. He's our 11th best prospect. I did not know that, but I found that surprising. I'm surprised that he's not in the top 10.
I just think it's the injury stuff. I think you'll see Tink start to drop too. Yeah.
This one I think doesn't matter as much, but it was just kind of interesting. Number 24 is Travis Honeyman. We drafted him in 2023. He's kind of a utility guy. We love drafting these dudes, right? He was hurt basically all of last year, and this is his first pro ball year. He is in single A destroying it. Now, this is Palm Beach, so we're talking about low A, but 350, 451, and 545. He needs to move up. He's a little bit older, but I thought it was interesting that, here's another guy we drafted who can play like 6 positions, and we just keep doing that.
The only thing I need to know is, does his helmet fall off his head every time he rounds the bases or no? Because if it doesn't, he needs to work on that.
Yep. That's exactly right. That's like the litmus. Like that's the qualifier.
It is. Yes. If you're going to be the Donnie replacement down the road, we're going to need the helmet to tilt.
Yes, that's right. My favorite name on this list is next. It is spelled Ixan, and I'm going to go ahead and pronounce it as Gian Henderson. I don't know. I think it's.
I was thinking George. Yeah, I don't know.
He is in Double A as a lefty, and he has been awesome so far. He is fresh off an 8 strikeout performance, 25.1 innings, 2.13 ERA, 32 Ks, and 6 walks. This guy was largely unknown. He has been mid-4 ERA guy his entire minor league career. Listen, if we stumble into a guy who's got some strikeout potential, hey, let's see what he can do.
Sometimes these guys pop out of nowhere. I love it.
Yep. Next guy, last guy here, Pete Hansen, which is just the most generic name I think I've ever heard in my life. He's also in Double A next to our friend IXAN there.
He's also in a boy band for sure.
22 innings pitched, 2.45 ERA, 22 strikeouts, and 10 walks. He's a lefty starter. Bobby, any thoughts?
As soon as you said Hansen, I just thought Chris Hansen. Like, that's all I thought of to catch a predator.
Yeah. It's probably not the same guy. Can't imagine the same guy.
As a family, you think?
That's right. A cousin. Yeah,
cousin. I'll look it up. Look it up right now.
So a couple of really interesting lefty starters in Double A that, and the reason I brought these up, and we'll move on to what to look for next week after this, is Triple A is starved for starting pitching right now. And I could see these guys get the bump up to AAA just to start getting those reps, just in case something happens. I don't expect them to bust on the scene soon, but listen, if you got guys down there with strikeout power, we do not need them in AA. You need them in AAA. Like, you need to continue to keep pushing these guys along. So overall, B-, pretty interesting group of guys, to be honest. I think I'm a little more excited about the honorable mention dudes than some of the prospects, the top 5. So
just for clarification, they're not related, just in case you're wondering.
Oh, thank goodness. I was worried. Yep. Okay, guys, let's power through here to the end. So next week we have the Phillies series. Well, we're starting tomorrow, and the Royals series, both on the road before we come back home. Andy, what can we highlight to watch for? Anything you're watching for next week in these 2 series?
Boy, this is going to find out what this 8-game winning streak Cardinals is going to look at against. Because again, if you think about it, we got really hyped up over the Twins series, right? And we're like, like, who are these people? And then we played some stiffer competition. We're like, oh, that's who we are. We did it against the Mets, to start this winning streak off. So I'm not belittling that. However, Phillies and Kansas City and then Detroit, which has the best record in baseball as we record, these next 3 series are going to show us. I'm just waiting for the normalization. That's all.
Yep, I hear you. Matt, what are you looking for this next week?
Most specifically, I'm looking for the starting pitching. Kansas City does not have a very good offense, and that's kind of a traditional thing. Honestly, all the Missouri teams are kind of like run prevention teams. They're sort of like us. The Phillies go bombs away, and Kansas City is very good. So I'm just wondering, we've seen a couple good rotations here of these starters giving us 6 innings, 2 run, a lot of that. So if that keeps going, then we've got enough of the rest of the pieces that we can continue to be successful. So I really think that, the Fedde, Michaelis, Palante starts are going to determine how this team does, and this will be 2 pretty good tests for them.
That's a really good point. I am looking for 2 things this upcoming week. One, Gordon Graceffo coming out of the pen throwing 99. Was that a fluke? Is that real? Because if he's throwing 99 out of the bullpen,
that's real.
Ryan,
have you seen his windup too?
He's
one of the rare guys. He steps back over the rubber. Every single guy I see steps sideways on the rubber. Yeah. This guy's thinks it's 1963. Yeah. He's stepping back over the back of the rubber. But he's bringing the heat. He is.
Yes. So I'm looking for Graceffo because I just want to see, is this a real thing for him? Because if he's not an effective starter, then my gosh, throw him in the back.
Sure, absolutely. He's been in Memphis forever. Yep. Yeah, let's get some out of him.
And our buddy Yvonne, he's back now. I want to see him slowly move into this. It's going to take him a few games to get his timing back. But when he does, I want to see, is he the Thunder still, right? Is he still as good as he was when he first started?
Yes.
Is he the 4-hitter we need?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, yep.
Okay. All right, boys, let's see if we can win 8 more next week, huh?
W8, baby.
Man,
W16.
All right, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Redbird Rundown, your go-to source for Cardinals news. Please subscribe, rate, and review the show to help us grow. Follow us on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Facebook for the latest news. Keep your rally caps on, and let's go Cards.
Pop on.